Hey, how's it going, guys? Today we're talking about the spear build, a build that I wasn't really expecting to enjoy, and now it's become my go-to build, especially in any 1v1 tournament, 1v1 events. I think it is arguably the strongest build you rock with 1v1s, if not something along these lines. And even in a normal like clan, like 4v4 situation, I've had really good success with it. I've been really happy with it. So I'm going to walk through, there's two weapons I use, the spear obviously, and then the second weapon is kind of an optional what you want to pair with it type thing. And then we're going to walk through the abilities we use and the ultimate. So if you're interested, stick around and let's get into it. So first things first, before we get into the actual weapons, let's talk about jewelry and blood, because I'm always asked about that. For jewelry, I recommend the Nightstone of the Beast because we're going to be focusing on setting up combos with our spear Q, which is a really strong and high DPS ability. So we're going to rock the Nightstone for the physical crit strike chance and damage. If you don't want to do Nightstone, if you want to instead do Shard of the Frozen Crypt, that is optional, but you might want to change around one of the abilities we use, or just kind of alter your playstyle to reflect more about your spell abilities and less setting up combos for your spear Q. And then for blood type, if you're going to rock the Nightstone, go ahead and rock rogue type or warrior type. And if you're going to rock the Shard of the Frozen Crypt, go ahead and go scholar blood most likely. So yeah, in terms of weapons, obviously we're going to be rocking the spear. So basic walkthrough of that first. We have the simple autos, kind of nice jabs. Now the range on this is a lot longer than people think it is. You see it's about that distance. I think it does, I'm like 99% positive that it has the furthest reach of any weapon, so it's really good if you're trying to get some poke down or like trade melee, like use that reach. It's really important. Beyond that, you have the Q, which is called 1,000 Spears. You perform the multi-stab attack, dealing 30% physical damage 8 times. Recast the effect to perform a thrust attack, dealing 50% physical damage and knocking enemies back. So this is what it looks like, and then the recast is that kind of extended thrust right there. Now this is the bread and butter of the build. What the build is about is setting up ways for you to land that, because that's going to interrupt enemies from doing anything. They're going to get stunned and just bam, 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 bam. They hit them with that final thrust. It's a huge chunk of damage. So the build's all about setting up for that hit right there, okay? So that's the important thing. Is this going to be your bread and butter? I go around, get used to attacking it, hit some mobs, do some duels. It's going to be very important for you to understand how to aim it, how it hits, the reach on it, everything, because this is the most important ability of the build. So get some practice using it. The second weapon ability is called Harpoon. You throw a spear that deals 70% physical damage and pulls enemies towards you. So this is what this looks like. And if that hits, they get pulled towards you. So that's really nice, because obviously the basic combo is if you hit the harpoon and pull them in, you can immediately do 1,000 spears into them, and that's like the basic combo that's set up with the spear. However, harpoon is a really hard ability, in my opinion, to hit. If you're really good at it, and I've dueled people who've just smoked me with it, it's a really nice thing. However, it's not something you always want to have in your arsenal. You see it has like a very long load up time, so enemies can kind of predict it and get like around it. And obviously you can get kind of fancy with if you want. You start charging it and cancel, so like you fake out your enemies and all that type of stuff. But in the day, it's a harder ability to hit, so it's nice to have a more simple option for your E. My go-to has been the axes, because what I like to do is I get the X strike, incapacitate, you can dash in or just walk in, and then get the Q thrust. And like the beautiful combo, and we'll get into just abilities setting up a CC before the X strike, and then landing the X strike into the Q combo, and then they're just CC'd forever. The other option, I actually don't have one on me sadly at the moment, but the other option would be a slasher, because with the slasher E is when you go invisible, and if you hit the next auto, it incapacitates them. So you go invisible, hit that auto, swap to the spear, and immediately do that combo. So those are your options in terms of kind of the basic kind of combos I run with the spear. Like I said, you could do the harpoon ability if you want, but I recommend having a second ability that might be a bit more consistent to be able to land and get CC ready for the 1,000 spear combo. Now going to the dash, we rock the Veil of Frost dash, and the reason why, as you can tell, is we go Frost with this. I'll go over the two abilities in general, but I think Veil of Frost is still the best dash. If you like Chaos Dash, that also works well with this, just for the high mobility, to kind of be able to chase people down and get kind of your 1,000 spears off, get here, dodge another one, get in there type thing. Like there's options with it. So Veil of Chaos or Veil of Frost, I would recommend. I like Veil of Frost because, and this will go to our abilities, our main ability that we rock is Frostbat. Now there's two reasons why. Number one is because Chaos Volley is boring and I don't like it. And half the tournaments I've participated in or signed up for, it's even banned, so I haven't even bothered to really practice with it. But the main reason is for the freeze. Because if you hit two, we're just going to pretend this piece of stone here is an enemy. If you hit two, and that freezes them, then you can X strike on them on that freeze and get the 1,000 spears off of that. And just like that stone just got destroyed, you will destroy your enemy. And I just like the fact that you don't have to hit both. With like Chaos Volley, you obviously hitting one is good, but you really want the damage. Like that's the reason why you want to do it. So getting both is ideal. With the Frostbat, even if you only hit one on the enemy, they're still going to be chilled and slow for your combo to be able to kind of nail them down, right? So I think that still sets up a lot of stuff for your other abilities and pairs well better with it compared to other like ranged projectiles that while they may do more damage, they do other things. This one just sets you up for those incapacitate combos that you want to get off with the 1,000 spears. And then the second ability, you're going to run the shield. You have two options. I swap between these two a lot depending on my mood. I haven't really decided which one I like more. We have two options. The first one is the Frost Barrier. You throw up the shield, block the projectiles, and if they hit you, it spawns that like pillar of ice that'll chill your enemies. That's obviously nice because if I like block it and they get hit by that pillar, I can frost back, get that freeze, and go into the combo, right? But the other option that I also like is the Chaos Barrier. And the reason why I like the Chaos Barrier is because if it blocks something, it shoots the projectile back at them. And it will push the target towards you. So what happens is, depending on the range, some things you can do is obviously you can just shoot it back at them and make them waste their dashes or have to dodge around it. And if it shoots back at them one way, you see them moving, you can immediately, do something, throw your harpoon, frostbat, whatever in that direction to force their movement ability. And then the other thing is if they're in close enough distance, if you block them and they get pulled in, you can immediately go into your 1,000 spears off that. So it's a nice combo because this is a pretty aggressive build that you'll go melee in a lot. So having the option of pulling in people into your 1,000 spears is also nice. I tend to use Chaos Barrier more than the Frost Barrier. I'm sure there's gonna be opinions one way or the other. I think both are really good and it just kind of comes down to play style and what you're trying to do. And then, like I said, I flip flop between the two all the time, just depending on my mood, quite honestly, what I want to do with it. So it really just kind of comes down to your play style. The Frost one is a bit like more of a safer option because you're just trying to get them to throw a projectile at you, block it, and get that shrapnel up so you can just get a single frostbat off. That obviously will be a safer option for the shield if we're getting like freezes off. However, the Chaos Barrier is nice because it's a bit more of an aggressive option with shooting projectiles back and pulling them into your combos. So it really just kind of comes down to which of the two you like and kind of fits your playstyle with the duels. I will also argue that if you're going to be doing the spear and axes, the frost might be better for the slow for the X strike. But if you go Chaos Barrier, maybe running spear and reaper would be better because then you can pull them into you and go invisible and get that incapacitate off easier. So just some thoughts about that. And then lastly, for the ultimate, it comes down to what you're doing. In 1v1s, I just run Hard Strike just because it's a bit easier and a bit more consistent. But obviously, you had the OP abilities like Arctic Leap. If you get that freeze off, that's an easy combo. And then lastly, beyond Arctic Leap, I would also maybe consider just maybe summon Fallen Angel. Again, this just gives you a bit more just of a bit more almost like AoE, just a bit more presence on the battlefield because this is very much an isolated target, much more a 1v1 build, but still good in team fights if you can just like isolate a single target or get your combo off on a singular person. So having the Fallen Angel to kind of support in the kind of a larger fight is nice. But otherwise, I usually just rock Hard Strike or I rock Arctic Leap. So it kind of comes down to preference. And yeah, that's my spear build. I've been having a lot of fun with this. I've been using it a lot, both in tournaments and 1v1 servers, as well as like on my own personal server and clan fights. And I've had a lot of success with it, and I really enjoy it. So hope you guys enjoy this build. Hope you find it helpful, and I will catch you all next time. Peace out.